Welcome to episode 468 of AI Brief. I'm Amin, and I'll be your curious, relatable guide through today's custom-tailored daily deep dive.
And I'm Leah, here to be your analytical synthesizer and, break down all the technical madness happening today.
And trust me, there's a lot of madness. Today, we're talking about what happens when you host an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Right.
And someone just shows up with a literal fleet of robots to clear out the trays.
Yeah, which is exactly what just forced a fundamental change over at Anthropic.
It's wild. So we're going to map out that massive ecosystem shift where Anthropic is booting third-party agents from Claude standard plans.
And then from there, we're looking at Netflix. They're stepping into the arena with this mind-bending physics-aware AI for video editing.
Which totally changes how we manipulate digital reality, by the way. After that, we'll shift gears, take a more measured look at everything else breaking in AI news today.
Lots of rapid-fire updates there.
Oh, absolutely. And finally, we'll wrap up by walking you through some trending AI tools, basically showing you how to build a tech company from scratch in a single afternoon.
It's a fascinating juxtaposition, really. Like, on one hand, you have these AI models struggling to sustain basic digital resource limits.
Yep.
But then on the other, you have models literally learning how to simulate real-world physics from scratch.
Right. Well, let's start with that buffet analogy. Anthropic has officially blocked agent platforms, specifically tools like OpenClaw, from running on their standard $20 Claude subscription plans.
They just cut them off?
Just cut them off. If you want to use these autonomous agents now, you have to pay separately.
Right, through usage add-ons or API keys.
Exactly. Which are basically, a direct access pass for developers that charges them by the word or the computation. Anthropic is just confronting this massive surge in agent-driven demand.
Well, their flat-rate pricing model was just never built to absorb that kind of hit.
Right, but why? I mean, what's the actual difference on their end?
So, to understand why Anthropic was forced into this corner, you have to look at the fundamental difference in behavior between a human user and an AI agent.
Okay.
Like, when you sit down to use an AI model, you type a prompt, you wait for a response, right?
Right, I read it, maybe think about it for a minute.
Exactly. The time between your requests is measured in seconds, sometimes minutes. The servers can handle that breathing room.
Makes sense.
But an autonomous agent tool operates entirely differently. It gets a broad goal, and then it just hits the Claude model with nonstop rapid-fire requests.
Like over and over.
Over and over. It's constantly querying, evaluating its own output, correcting itself in milliseconds.
Wow.
Yeah, and those automated relentless loops completely shatter the typical limits that a $20 flat-rate plan is designed to cover.
Wait, but aren't they kind of shooting themselves in the foot here?
How so?
Well, the developers who built these agents are Claude's biggest champions. They built their tools around Claude specifically because it's the leading driver for this exact reasoning technology right now.
That's true, yeah.
So walling off your most enthusiastic power users, especially when OpenAI is sitting right next door, waiting as a very hungry alternative, I mean, that seems incredibly risky.
Oh, it's absolutely a calculated risk. But, it's a necessary one from their perspective. Boris Cherny from Anthropic released a statement framing this as a crucial step for managing growth.
Managing growth, right?
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to continue serving all customers sustainably. Because think about the broader user base.
You mean the regular human users?
Exactly. If agent traffic degrades the experience for standard human users by overloading the servers and causing timeouts, the entire platform's reputation suffers.
They had to protect the core experience.
They really did.
I mean, they are definitely trying to soften the blow. They're handing out olive branches to these impacted developers.
Right, like the credits.
Yeah, they're offering credits worth a month's subscription, discounting the new usage add-ons by up to 30%. And they're offering full refunds for the waves of cancellations they're predictably getting.
And those mitigation tactics are necessary because the backlash isn't just predictable, it's highly visible.
Oh yeah, Peter Steinberger was pretty vocal.
Very. The creator of OpenClaw publicly criticized the move, and his argument highlighted a really frustrating pattern in tech ecosystems.
Which is?
He pointed out that major platforms often copy popular features into their closed systems, benefit from the open source community's innovation, and then
just abruptly lock them out.
Exactly. They lock out that very same community when it becomes computationally inconvenient.
Man. And Anthropic was already catching heat over tighter rate limits recently, so walling off this vocal agentic power user community is a massive goodwill problem.
It really is a defining moment for their business model. They're trying to balance staggering computational costs against maintaining developer reputations.
Right, and doing it at a crucial time in their rivalry with OpenAI.
Exactly. It perfectly illustrates the friction of AI models hitting a wall with basic digital resource limits. But what's really fascinating is what happens when we look at models that aren't just consuming resources.
You mean models that are actually learning to navigate entirely different sets of rules,
Exactly.
which is the perfect thematic bridge to our second update today. We're moving from digital server limits to the creation of virtual physics.
This one is so cool.
It really is. Netflix Research just released its first public AI tool. It's an open source framework called Void, built specifically for advanced video editing.
And Void is fundamentally different from the standard erasing or in-painting tools currently dominating the market.
Right, because existing removal tools just paint over backgrounds.
Yeah, essentially, they identify the pixels of an object you want gone, and they just guess what the background behind it should look like based on surrounding colors.
They don't actually reason about cause and effect.
No, not at all. They don't understand how those edits affect the broader scene in motion.
So standard video editing AI is basically just digital whiteout.
That's a great way to put it.
You wipe a car away, and the system just draws a static, blurry street over it. But Void sounds less like an editing brush and more like a mini simulation engine.
It really does. It uses this sophisticated mask that maps out 3 distinct categories.
Okay, what are they?
So first, what exactly to erase. Second, what is physically affected by that erasure. And third, what needs to be kept completely untouched.
Okay, so that mapping is the crucial first step.
Right. And once that tri-level mask is established, Void deploys what they call a judge model.
A judge model.
Yeah, and its job isn't to paint pixels. Its job is to chart the physical consequences of the removal. It calculates the physics of the scene and actively rewrites the video's motion based on those calculations.
Okay, but here's what I'm really trying to wrap my head around. The demonstrations show Void handling complex physics that it was never explicitly trained on.
Right.
Like if you edit a video to remove a person who is holding a balloon by a string, the balloon doesn't just stay frozen in midair.
No, it floats away.
It literally floats away. Or, if you erase a block from the bottom of a stacked tower, the remaining blocks don't hover there. They tumble down depending on their center of gravity. So if the system wasn't hard-coded with a traditional physics engine like a video game uses, how is it actually figuring out that untrained cause and effect?
So this is where we get into the emergent properties of these advanced foundational models.
Okay.
By analyzing vast, unimaginable amounts of video data during its initial training, the model develops an implicit mathematical understanding of mass, gravity, and object permanence.
Wait, really? Just from watching video?
Just from the data. It doesn't just recognize the visual pattern of a balloon, it recognizes the underlying concepts of buoyancy and tension.
Wow.
Yeah. So when the anchoring force, the person's hand, is removed, the judge model calculates the most statistically probable next frame based on physical laws.
So it's simulating the outcome of reality rather than just patching over a hole with background colors.
Exactly. And the results they're getting are striking. Netflix put Void up against 6 baseline models, including industry heavyweights like Runway.
And how did it do?
They had 25 evaluators review the outputs, and they preferred Netflix's Void results nearly 2/3 of the time.
That is wild. I mean, this matters immensely for the future of intuitive, production-ready video generation.
Netflix stepping into the public AI arena with this specific, highly technical tool signals a massive shift. We're moving beyond mere image editors applied to moving frames.
Right. We're moving toward environments that simulate physics for true controllability in visual effects.
Exactly.
So from those deep foundational shifts at Anthropic and Netflix, let's actually take a step back here.
Yeah, let's take a breath.
Because we need to look at the incredible velocity of moves happening across the rest of the AI landscape today. For this next segment, we're going to take a slightly slower, more measured look at the entire board.
I think that's smart. Taking that broader, more deliberate view allows us to really see the connective tissue between startup innovation and major corporate restructuring.
Because the sheer contrast in how this technology is evolving right now is staggering. The ecosystem is moving at a breakneck pace, but in wildly different directions.
It really is.
Let's start with the startup ecosystem. Pika has just rolled out a fascinating new feature.
Yeah, Pika. They've been heavily focused on building digital clones of real people.
Right. And today, they released a video call skill that allows you to chat directly with your digital AI agent clone on Google Meet.
Which is just wild to think about. The technical implementation here utilizes their new PikaStream 1.0 model.
And this isn't just a basic voice synthesizer, is it?
No, not at all. It provides the agent with a fully articulated face, perfectly synchronized voice, and a distinct, persistent personality during a live two-way video conference.
I mean, the viral launch video for this feature has already crossed 2 million views.
Yeah, it demonstrates a massive market appetite for embodied visual digital presence rather than just text interfaces.
Speaking of text interfaces, moving over to software creation, the AI platform, Anything has launched a new text tab feature.
Anything is known for what they call vibe coding.
Vibe coding, right? Which essentially allows users to generate complex software through natural conversational language.
Exactly. And now you can build complete functional applications by simply texting back and forth with their system over Apple's iMessage.
Over iMessage, just tactic.
Just texting. And the strategic context behind this release is particularly notable. It ties back to the friction we see between innovators and platform gatekeepers.
Because Anything claims this new iMessage feature was a forced pivot, right?
Exactly. They developed this texting workaround after Apple entirely delisted their original application from the App Store.
Wow. It's a prime example of developers finding creative distribution channels when gatekeepers restrict their access.
Absolutely.
But, on the darker side of the startup news today, Merker, the AI training startup recently valued at $10 billion, has confirmed a major data breach.
Yeah, this incident is tied to an attack on an open-source library known as LaTeLLM.
Which is essentially an open-source translator tool that connects different AI models together.
Right. And the scale of this breach is substantial. Hackers are claiming they have accessed up to 4 terabytes of data from Merker's internal systems.
4 terabytes. That highlights a critical vulnerability in the current tech landscape.
It really does. When massive enterprise valuations intersect with open-source dependencies in the training pipeline, those libraries become highly lucrative targets.
The supply chain itself is the weak link. Even standard developer tools are in the crosshairs now.
Definitely.
Shifting our focus up to big tech, Anthropic is making some incredibly aggressive expansion moves.
Yeah, they just acquired the startup Coefficient Bio for roughly $400 million.
Now, why is a company known for building chatbots dropping nearly $500 million on drug discovery?
Because LLMs are fundamentally pattern-matching engines.
Right.
Anthropic is folding the entire Coefficient Bio team into its internal healthcare and life sciences group. They realize that sequencing proteins and analyzing molecular structures is just another complex language for AI to decode.
So they're using AI for advanced drug discovery.
Exactly. Signaling their clear intent to dominate specialized, high-value industry verticals where the profit margins just absolutely dwarf standard consumer subscriptions.
Unbelievable. And finally, we need to look at OpenAI, which is navigating significant internal and external transitions simultaneously.
Right. At the executive level, they're experiencing major leadership changes.
Yeah, Fidji Simo is currently on medical leave. Chief Operating Officer Brad Lightcap has been transitioned away from his primary role to focus on special projects.
And Chief Marketing Officer Kate Rauch is stepping down entirely to focus on cancer recovery.
Yet, simultaneously, their product rollout continues completely unaffected. OpenAI has just deployed ChatGPT directly into Apple's CarPlay.
Which is huge. It allows users to access the advanced voice mode in supported vehicles, creating a fully hands-free, deeply conversational interface while driving.
Synthesizing these updates really reveals an incredible contrast in how artificial intelligence is permeating our lives.
It really is a wide spectrum.
Like on one end, you have AI being used to casually code custom applications over a text thread with your friends, and on the other end, that exact same foundational technology is driving $400 million acquisitions to discover new pharmaceutical drugs.
And that staggering bandwidth of application is precisely why the tooling ecosystem is expanding so rapidly.
Right. Developers are rushing to build specific interfaces that capture every conceivable use case.
Exactly.
So that stark contrast between a company discovering drugs and an AI sitting in your car dashboard, it really highlights where we are right now.
Yeah. It does.
So let's look at the specific trending tools you can start using today. Let's imagine you have a brilliant idea for a tech business today.
Okay, I have an idea.
Instead of spending months recruiting and building, how would you build it by dinner?
Well, you would start by chaining these new, highly specialized tools together, completely bypassing traditional development bottlenecks.
Exactly. First, you need the actual product. You'd use Fabricate.
Right.
This tool creates production-ready React applications, which is the same complex web framework Facebook and Netflix use, and it does it just from simple text prompts.
It bridges the gap between a written concept and a fully functional code base in minutes.
But if you need to dive deeper into the code to customize that app, you would open Cursor 3.
Cursor 3, yeah. This massive new update introduces an agent-first interface. It's designed to manage and coordinate multiple parallel coding agents working on different parts of your code base simultaneously.
Like a digital engineering team.
Exactly.
Okay, so your app is built. Now you need a public web presence to sell it. You turn to Framer.
Framer is amazing for startups that waste weeks trying to build marketing websites.
Yeah, it allows you to ship a beautifully designed professional website today, 0 developers needed.
Completely eliminates standard deployment delays.
So product and site are live. Now you need to manage your sudden workload. That's where Poptask comes in.
Right. You just type in messy, completely unformatted thoughts tasks,
Yep.
and Poptask's engine understands the underlying intent.
It categorizes the requirements and automatically schedules them into your calendar based on priority.
It's like a perfect assistant.
Now you need to drive traffic to your new site. For the marketing sector, we have ClipMake.
This platform allows you to create professional, high-converting ad creatives by utilizing a roster of over 300 unique AI actors.
Which completely removes the need for expensive physical studio shoots.
Or talent agencies.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to push the creative boundaries of those ads even further, you'd use DramaPixel.
DramaPixel is wild. It's an engine designed to generate stunning, high-resolution images, cinematic videos, and perfectly synchronized music, all in seconds.
Based on unified single prompts.
Exactly.
So once the customers arrive from those ads, they're going to need support.
Yeah.
We touched on PikaStream 1.0 earlier, but for a business, this is revolutionary.
Oh, absolutely.
This model gives any basic AI agent a video chat-capable face, a natural voice, and a brand-aligned personality.
You're effectively turning basic text bots into visual avatars that handle customer service face-to-face.
And finally, the brain powering your internal systems could be Gemma 4.
Google's new open-weight AI model.
Right, meaning anyone can download and tweak its core brain. It's boasting state-of-the-art intelligence metrics optimized for its compact size.
Making it highly attractive for local, private deployment on your own hardware.
Looking at this entire toolkit, it raises a profound question about democratization.
It really does.
With tools like Fabricate building React apps, Cursor 3 managing parallel coding agents, and Framer deploying websites instantly, are we entering an era where simply having an idea is now the absolute only barrier to entry for building a tech product?
Because the execution is entirely automated.
Right.
Yeah, the execution fundamentally becomes a commodity. When the mechanical friction of building software is reduced to 0, the premium shifts entirely away from coding ability.
Where does it shift to?
It shifts entirely to domain expertise, unique human insights, and the pure quality of the initial idea.
It's a massive paradigm shift that completely changes who gets to be a creator in this economy.
Well, it really does.
But it leaves us with a fascinating tension to consider. If massive platforms like Anthropic are being forced to lock down their ecosystems and boot third-party agents just to survive the server load,
Right.
while incredibly powerful open-weight models like Gemma 4 are simultaneously hitting the scene for anyone to download, ask yourself, will the future of AI ultimately belong to the closed, highly polished walled gardens or the chaotic, innovative open-source rebels?
That exact tension is going to define the architecture of our next generation of digital infrastructure.
It's the perfect thought to carry with you as you navigate the news this week. Be sure to follow our deep dive feed and share this with someone who needs a shortcut to being comprehensively well informed. See you in the next episode.